isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Probably pronounced his name wrong. Pistol round starts Virtus.pro on the CT side, as I mentioned before. So, are we going to see any fast pushes? That's exactly what is the case from Na'Vi. Going through mid towards A. Neo gets himself Glock trained down with a burst fire. That's a lovely shot from Edward. Also onto Bjarly, who now snacks from the backside. And he's coming to try and get that frag. Edward's already picked himself up 3. He's on the prowl for a 4th kill. Onto snacks, and that's a beautiful 1-click from Edward. Awesome round from him. Bomb's going to get planted as well. Na'Vi starting off very, very confidently indeed. For those of you just joining us, Na'Vi did lose the first map. It was their choice. It was Mirage. They have the worst memory in the world, but it was like 16-11, I think. Edward, just a beast in that last round. They're going to be hoping that he continues that form forward. Guardian with the Galil just strolls out of platform and gets himself a headshot. Flamey's going to get himself one as well, but here's Bjarly from behind the site, and the retaliation in from the poles, but they are falling fast. As Bjarly also gets himself headshotted from Seized. They got themselves 3 kills, but that was a force up from the Virtus.pro side. So another few SMGs are picked up for Na'Vi. It was 16-11, there you go. I honestly do have the memory of a goldfish. Grenades are coming in thick and fast, but Pasha is standing tall, and he is still alive, courtesy of the frag from Bjarly, and Seized just goes straight through drop zone with the Mac-10, and he's putting that to good use with the Neon Rider, just smashing everybody left, right and centre. Taz to his right-hand side, and Seized gets his 3rd. Very quick pace rounds, all going to Na'Vi, but this is the moment when Virtus.pro will try to build that roadblock to pop the tyres of Na'Vi's bus. Going to be keeping themselves 1 MP7 on Zeus. The rest of them have an AK-47. Goldfish actually have good memories. That I've been lied to my entire life. My life is a lie, apparently. Grenades coming through. Neither of them really land onto Taz too bad. And Taz does get himself a kill before Seized comes in. And then it's just back and forth. And CT's coming out ahead there. And Na'Vi have dropped the bomb towards mid. Last 3 remaining players are on mid side. Bomb carrier, Guardian going in first. AK-47 in hand. It's a pretty static setup from VP, but a very effective one. Bjarly using that wooden plank to save himself from a HE, and it definitely paid off for him. Neo is going to make the most of Guardian's position as he pushes in there and gets himself 1 and a 2nd kill as well. It's now all down to Edward. First of he's hoping many, but the bomb is just across the map, and it's going to be very difficult for him to make up that much room and that much space in 20 seconds, especially considering there are 3 players still alive and kicking, one of which is Bjarly, who has put Edward down. I think GoTV's having some issues. Some noises from the mic. I hope not. I mean, obviously other than my voice, because that would be awkward. Guardian with the AWP. He's going to be trying to train his sights onto a long. Nobody's round that corner. Meanwhile, there is action kicking off across the board. Lots of spraying coming in to and fro. Neo's pushed himself into a position where he could pounce on a number of players. There's the first one to fall. It's Zeus, but that man Guardian does return fire. So Speaking of fire, Seized threw down a Molotov, I believe, onto drop zone, trying to force back the CT defenders. It was effective, but there's no follow-up afterwards, so it just buys them a couple more seconds, really. And again, Pasha, he was in this position last time, and I was saying that they were going for a static defense. I assume that Pasha's going to use this position until he ends up having to use it, in terms of getting kills from that, and then trying to be unpredictable and move into different positions afterwards. But he's going to go for a peek now. Seized is still there, laid in wait, and Pasha could find himself on the receiving end of a battering of that AK-47. Indeed he will. And even though I think he dinked Seized in that confrontation down to 7, he still does die. Bjarly and Snacks do bounce back and give the Virtus.pro boys a player advantage, but that's suddenly been taken out of their hands, as it's down to a one-on-one. Flamey against Bjarly, 10 seconds on the timer. Flamey has that bomb, but he has to cross, and in doing so he's putting himself in the sights of Bjarly, but Flamey still gets the kill, and Na'Vi pick up a 4-1 lead. And those were rounds that Virtus.pro were winning on Mirage. Sights of Bjarly. Okay then, I just got some random echo. Sweet. That was weird. Into round 6 we go. All technical difficulties aside. Virtus.pro now going to find themselves in familiar territory here on an eco. Pasha pushing aggressive. He's been in this position a bunch of times already, so Na'Vi going to know this, but it's such an effective position if you can get those quick fire headshots from the CZ. It's not going to happen this time around, as Pasha is the first to fall. Taz is second, and now B is being aggressed on heavily from Na'Vi. Guardian with a nice entry, and bomb will be planted, and this is going to be the 5-1.
Bomb has been planted.
There's Edward. Neo is in hallway. Flamey's going to be the first player to bump into him. He has heard Flamey moving around. In fact, it could be Zeus that's the first. Nope, Zeus backs on off towards the site. Makes a bit of noise there on the drop. I'm not sure what Neo's looking for. Oh, he's trying to get around the back of them. Well, pretty much walked into a firing range there. Watching your own stream. It could have been that, actually. When I got my chat up, maybe the stream just randomly turned itself back on again, even though it was paused. I don't know what it was, guys. I apologise. Shouldn't happen again. There could be some lags. I've been having problems with GoTV today and yesterday as well. Could also be on Twitch's end, so you may need to refresh your stream if you're having consistent issues. But either way, here in the 7th round, Virtus.pro going for another eco. I'm going to try and finish strong here on the CT side. Bjarly gets himself a kill to bring it back to an all-even affair, but it's anything but even when you take into account all the weapons that are on the side of Na'Vi. But that being said, they are still getting frags, and Guardian's down to 6 HP, so this is not impossible for VP, and whereas before they had no weapons, now they've got themselves 2 AK-47s to work with. And Taz with the P250 was on the hunt for another kill, but Edward too fast with the MP7. Bomb's planted. And Edward gets yet another kill. Looking for a third. Flashbang is going to connect, but there's Pasha. 2v1. He has no defuse kit, so he's going to have to get his skate on here if he wants to try and clutch this round. And no, he's going to save the weapon instead. Save it for a rainy day. I think Flamey's doing great. Wizzy He's one of those players that, since I started casting the GoCL games here on my channel, Flamey has been probably the most consistent player from Na'Vi that I've seen. I'd say overall, he's more than likely been the most consistent player. Let's see how he's performing this time. 6 for 3. Edward's top fragging 11 and 4. On Virtus.pro, Bjarly 6 and 6. The rest of the scoreboard's looking a bit sparse. But when it's 6-1, you're kind of expecting that to be the case. But here we go. They went for ecos, and they now have themselves some weapons alongside that AK-47 that was saved up from Pasha. He was going to go into the same position once again, but he's going to be flashing it across, banking that off the box. And going back to that same position once more. Zeus with the bomb is on long. And whereas Virtus.pro before were getting picked off from Na'Vi, it was mainly down to the fact they're on eco and just desperation peaks, trying to get information, trying to get a lucky headshot here or there with the 5-7 and get themselves a weapon on the board. Now that they have themselves a full buy-up of weapons, they can afford to just stay back now. They don't have to peek. They're on the CT side after all. You just have to wait for the terrorists to come on to the sites. Neo is the most aggressive player at this point. He's just hiding in mid. He did hear some movement to his right-hand side, which he's going to call to the rest of his team. You can see that there's a stack up from Bialy and Pasha. And yeah, Pasha has been there too many times. He's given his position away and he gets cooked down. It's a Pasha barbecue. And in kind, that leaves B so vulnerable. Taz has had to rotate himself back, but it's a 2-on-4. Neo was trying to snake himself into a position where he could shut down a couple players from behind, but he also gets found out. And some way, somehow, Virtus.pro have a 2-on-2 with 10 seconds to spare. Flamey's died with the bomb, and that's probably the round unless C's gets both of these kills, and he's not going to do so. 2-6. I thought the Pasha barbecue was going to end that round for Virtus.pro, was going to be their fate sealed. But no, they hang on for dear life. It was looking like a really precarious round for them. But individual brilliance shines through once again. Please don't talk about barbecue, I'm hungry. I'm sorry, Noobstar, I'm sorry, bro. But that's the issue with going to the same place over and over again. It does get predictable, and those Molotovs just are devastating. And you could see the Pasha just panicked. He was like, well, if I stay here, I'm dead. If I peek, I'm dead. So I'm just boned either way. Hey, at least he went down in the barbecue, so... sacrificing his life to feed others. Good guy, Pasha. Comes out good. Again, it's a bit weird that Neo would be peeking that spot because he's just given his life away. And then Snacks tried to fill in the gap, and then he nearly dies. Flamey's going to get the pick off onto Pasha, who was forced to try and rotate towards A because the call would have came through that they were vulnerable and needed some assistance. So that's really the impact that one mistake can make. It has this rippling effect. It's Chaos Theory 101. Now Tiger Edward. With it all to do. In a 2 versus 1. He somehow manages to escape with his tail between his legs. Snacks gives him an opportunity to strike. He's going to be faking that bomb. And he can just about see the top of the head of Snacks. I thought he could anyway. Apparently not. He is going to go and plant the bomb. And a second time of asking and gets the headshot onto Snacks. Who should have had the kill when Edward pushed across. Surely, when he went back to the site. After killing his teammate. I expected Snacks to spray him down. Like, no issues whatsoever. But, no. And it's a lot of really odd peaks. Pause coming in. Not too sure what the reason for this is. If it lasts for too long, then I will alt-tab Skype. No, it has been unpaused. So back on track again. Mac-10 for C's. It's going to be very effective against the full eco up of Virtus.pro, which Na'Vi are going to know because Virtus.pro have dipped into the back pocket way too many times for them not to be in this position. If you want the crosshair, guys, look below in the FAQs. I've put my entire crosshair commands below for you. Guardian. Get Snacks, who is trying to hide in the corner and capitalise on any lapses in concentration, and the aforementioned Mac-10 is doing work. Neo's the only player that has retaliated with a frag of his own. But he also gets dropped, and it's all on Pasha, who's in drop zone. Bomb's been planted on A, so he's looking for this frag on to see if he gets it. I was going to say, if he gets the kill, there's a good chance that he could have saved that weapon as well, because C's was so far away from the rest of his team. But wasn't to be. And Virtus.pro getting desperate, realising that 8 rounds already for Na'Vi is way too many for them to be comfortable. They've gone for 3 Mag 7s. 3 with 2 M4s. Now, where are they going to be running with those Mag 7s? Neo's got one towards mid. Pasha's in the same position as I switch across, it's Taz who's doing the damage on drop zone. Apologies for missing those kills. It's typical. Scrubcaster, report me please, thanks. Looking for his third, and he could definitely get this one on Zeus if he keeps speaking that way. I think Zeus realises that may not be the greatest of ideas and is going to wait for the rest of his team to fill in. Now, if memory serves me correctly, the first map of Mirage went 7-8 to Na'Vi on T-side as well. So maybe history is going to repeat itself. Maybe, just maybe, as Zeus drops down. Action coming over onto B-side. Double frags has changed. Edward somehow is picking up kills in positions that you'd expect him to die in, and that's 2 this round. Neo's able to pick up the AK-47 from one of the corpses of his teammates. And the bomb has been planted in this 3-on-2. Oh, this is another round that Virtus.pro desperately need to win. This will be the 3rd or 4th time that they've been in a position where you'd expect them to take a round, and it's just gone, and there we go. Snacks moves in, gets the 2, and the defuse. And he is joint top with Taz on 9 apiece. Meanwhile, Edward, 18 for 6. He has been having a phenomenal T-side here on Cobblestone. C's has been no slouch on 10 and 6. And they really do need more of those moments. Mr. Crywolf, I do play CS, yes. LEM on my main. That's also below in the FAQ section. I've played a lot of CS. Over 3 accounts, I think about 3,000 hours in total, I guess. I love this game. Maybe there's a few more chapters to be written by Virtus.pro on this half, because currently it's looking bad, but I remember thinking and saying the exact same thing on Mirage. And look how that turned out for them, 16-11. If VP can win this round as well, it would be more than likely Na'Vi on an eco. So, not to look too far in the future, but this round could very well be worth 2, effectively. And Neo is going to be opening up things nicely from VP's perspective with an early frag onto Zeus. I say early, there's only 30 seconds to go with the first frag onto Zeus. And Na'Vi really haven't left themselves a great deal of time to play with. Neo has been picked off, and it's going to be a full committed round on A. Guardian with 1 as well. Onto Snacks, nice frag from C's. And Albiali and Pasha, the 2 talismen that VP need to get behind. 8 seconds, the bomb's been dropped. This Guardian. And he's going to save his weapon. He's given up on this round. So 4-8 is the scoreline. And VP starting to mount a bit of a comeback. And as I said, the economy is so poor from Na'Vi that it's going to be a forced buy-in. And these are not fantastic weapons. Originally I thought they may even go for an eco. But with that saved AK-47, it gives them a few more options here. So they are going to be forced buying 2 Tech 9s, 3 AKs, but very, very few grenades at their disposal. Taz with the Mag 7 is going to be hopping up, and this is actually a weapon that is very effective in this position. Because you can jump up and you can just straight up take the head off someone's shoulders, and it is a free kill. But he's going to be flashed, and now he's going to be forced in. And that's the downside of the Mag 7. If you get overrun and you miss that first shot, it's all over. It's lights out. But Snacks, he's going to catch Zeus as he looks the wrong way. That is a bit of a mistake from Zeus, I've got to say that. There's a lot of angles to look at, but in the complete wrong way this time around. He's seized all by himself. He's only got 9 HP, and again Virtus.pro take down a round, and this is going to be yet another eco from Na'Vi. Or potentially a force buy, but I'd be surprised if they force this one up. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, Seized going for the Tech 9 and Kevlar without the helmet, just to equalise the economy somewhat so they can all buy next round. That's why I was saying before that 12th round was effectively 2. Well, with the force buy, it was basically 3. And it could turn into a 4th, because Pasha is spraying down players left, right and centre. And there's Bjarly, the full house of frags. Bjarly with 3, Pasha with 2. And Virtus.pro, who were, what, 8-1 behind just a few moments ago? 8-2 behind, I beg your pardon. And now 6-8 behind. It's still not a great CT half. But I'm getting such a sense of deja vu from the last map. My favourite CSGO player, it's a very tough one to answer. So what I'll pick one from each team, Snacks and Guardian from these two teams. They're the most enjoyable to watch for me, personally. So, VP can just dig in. It seems that maybe Na'Vi are running out of strats, but it's also a case of VP haven't been peeking, getting themselves killed needlessly these last few rounds, and because there's been some force buys and ecos in, it's been a lot easier for them to just lock the sites down. Nice flash in from Neo, and he is going to be reaping the benefits of said flash with a frag, but meanwhile across the other side of the map, Na'Vi are doing damage. And back on mid, Neo was picked up from, I believe that was Edward. Flashbang lands on C's face. And that will deter him from pushing in just yet. 30 seconds, Molotov also just outside the drop zone. It's keeping Na'Vi positions they don't want to be in. Now the bomb's dropped in a horrific place from Na'Vi's perspective, right in front of Bjarly on the cusp of platform. Edward's going to fall next, and that's probably going to be it. Yes, as far as this half is done and concerned, Virtus.pro pick up 5 rounds in a row to bring it back to another 7-8, an identical scoreline to how Mirage went when VP went 7-8 behind on their CT side and then just exploded on T side. Will history repeat itself once more? Na'Vi currently 1-0 down in this BO2. As some of you are saying, 8 rounds on T side is very, very good. That is a solid half from Na'Vi. They will be happy. But considering they were 8-2 ahead, I think they'll also be very disappointed. Because that could have easily been double digits for them, which is a huge psychological boost, but also just purely in terms of round currency, that's also massive. And it could come back to haunt them, because if BP win this pistol round, they're going to be looking to put themselves about 10-8 ahead, and then we're in the same position once more, but Flamey does connect the headshot onto Taz, and that's going to put Virtus.pro on the back foot just for a few more seconds. Here comes the rest of that Glock train, steamrolling down the tracks. They have themselves a Tech 9 as well on Pasha. Snacks gets himself through the drop zone, and that's going to be 2 players dead from his hands. In fact, Neo just came in to nab that one from him. But Snacks is going to go back in for seconds onto Guardian. Guardian gets the upper hand in that exchange. But look at that from Na'Vi. Both players are 1 shot away from death. 12 and 15 respectively to Seized and Guardian. Bjarly's on 8, but Neo with 73. However, it is a pistol round, so a headshot is pretty much all she wrote. Who has the better aim in this exchange? It seems to be going even so far. Neo against Seized. The bomb's planted. Neo should win from this position, and he will indeed do just that with a burst fire. So close. running a scout onto C's. Let's see where he's going to be running with that one. Straight through mid, looking for a quick pick. But Virtus.pro have no interest in mid this round. They are looking towards platform. They are looking towards B. In the form of Taz, who's taking point once more. With the MP7 in his grasp. There's a player down to his left-hand side. Meanwhile, the rest of Virtus.pro starting to get aim to drop zone. Oh, Tiger! The mid-air headshot onto Taz is going to give him a weapon as well. And that gives Na'Vi a very brief lifeline because Edward just gets himself picked off, courtesy of Neo's Mac 10. Guardian, however, is going to be firing in with the 5-7. He gets himself 2 and Seized is also going to be going huge with the scout and then the knife kill onto Snacks. And again, a round that looked dead set, a certainty for Virtus.pro, slips through the fingers and the Na'Vi pick it up. By 2 moments of individual brilliance, one from Guardian with his double kill with the 5-7, and then the scout frag, and then the scout tag into a knife from Seized. Unbelievable plays by these two teams. He shanked him, bruv. But VP realising that the weaponry on Na'Vi is not going to be absolutely fantastic, do force themselves in here with some upgraded pistols and an AK-47 on Taz. Flashbang through. Taz is getting through very easily on platform. Zeus is peeking from drop zone. He gets himself one onto Snacks, who was trying to get round the backside. Everyone I'm switching to is dying. The bomb has been planted though from Neo, and in amongst all the action and the chaos, P250 in his hands. He's looking for some kills. He's got one, and that's all he's going to get this round. But the bomb plant did come in, so in that sense, Virtus.pro will be relatively happy. They're going to get some bank back for their troubles, but that was a force buy round as well. Should just talk like a lad. Yeah, I apologise for that camera control. I thought Guardian was going to be the man that stood up after that double 5-7 kill, and of course C's just goes huge. My bad, my bad. I accept that. Neo with the P250. Oh, that's lovely onto Guardian, who maybe taking a leaf out of VP's book with needless peaks. He was trying to get information. He was trying to get himself on the scoreboard, and in doing so, he just gift wraps a weapon across to Virtus.pro, who will happily take that on board. That's going to spread the CTs that much thinner. Now have to keep 2 players on A, 2 players on B. And that grenade did do fairly significant damage to Snacks and Neo. They're not going to stop just yet. Edward with the Mag 10 gets one before he's dropped. That grenade lands by the feet of Snacks, and he's got 29 HP to his name, but the T's still do have the player advantage on their side. Headshot from Seized on mid. So every time it looks like Virtus.pro might just be able to pull away with it, the CTs get themselves on the scoreboard once more. And now Flamey from the back of the site. This is why weapons are so powerful against the eco on CT, because you can just dig yourself in and shoot from long range, and it should be easy peasy frags, and that's exactly what happened. Na'Vi looked like they were starting to struggle, but kept themselves close enough. Just the arm's reach. That knife is, please, Gaben, please. .36 HP from Guardian. He was trying to peek into mid with the AWP and got punished. Look at Taz again. He's done this so many times. He uses the smoke to push through and get kills. And he nabs himself one and just runs off. Daylight robbery from Taz. His headshot from Snacks. Ooh, Pasha misses a shot that he probably should have landed. He'll be disappointed with that. Does get it on the second time of asking. Very nicely done by him. The important thing is he got the kill. And a 5-2 situation, Na'Vi will be thinking about trying to save these weapons, but that's not going to happen. They do get 1 kill in retaliation, courtesy of Edward's AWP work. But does he really want to try and peek on this side? Especially as that smoke's just landed. That's pretty much just said no. And that's put the hand up. And rejected it. So he will be saving on CT spawn. The question is, will he be able to keep that weapon going forward? The idea is to save. But you can see they're closing in on his position. Pasha's coming round from long. Bjarly up on balcony. And they seem to have a rough idea of where he is. Bjarly just tapped across through the wooden panels. And he is going to find the AWP. Edward gets one, misses on to Pasha, and does get the kill with the USP, but Snacks shoots through the wooden panels and gets the kill. The thing is, though, that Edward did a fantastic job there of taking down 3 extra weapons. So even though Virtus.pro are able to get themselves more here, if they were to lose this round, that very well could smash their economy. That could put their economy in tatters. He took about $7,000 to $8,000 worth of money away from Virtus.pro with those frags. That was painful. That was very painful for Virtus.pro. Even though they got the round, that was painful. Na'Vi are going to get themselves some weapons on the board. It's not the best of buy-ups, but it'll do. Especially considering... Oh, no, I spoke too soon. I was expecting the Guardian was landing that shot. Definitely landing that shot. Gets it onto Neo. Can he go? No, he misses once again onto Pasha. And that is going to be his life lost. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that one. On another day, they landed both those shots. Not to be this time around. Either way, Virtus.pro. 9-11 behind. But do find themselves a player to the good here in the 21st round. This bomb should be moving itself onto A. They have to be also careful because look at Flamey. He has not been caught, and he will deliver the final blow to Bjarly. And meanwhile, Taz also gets dropped down. So 35 seconds, Pasha in 1v2. This guy's very good in clutch situations. You can never really bet against him. But this is going to be tough. He's going to go for the Molotov. And in doing so, he leaves himself vulnerable. Rip. First map was won by VP. You can see it top left of your corner, guys. And it was Mirage. 16-11 in the end. So far, Na'Vi are not letting history repeat itself. They are keeping the pedal down. They're keeping their foot to the ground. Not allowing VP any chance to come up for air. Flashes into drop zone. That's going to force C's momentarily back. That's a nice smoke. And some more grenades coming in. Zeus is being smashed off that Molotov, so he has to pull himself out of the way. And in doing so, he's opened up drop zone to the entirety of VP. And they are going to be obliging kind as Bjarly gets himself in, but he drops down. Comfortable for Na'Vi in the end this round. Unless something crazy happens. Taz, 6 HP to his name, trying to get a fortunate shot through the chicken coop, and he does pay the ultimate price. Looks like it's going to be an eco incoming for VP. And with this weaponry, Na'Vi, you know, on paper you'd say MP9 is not very good and Nova's not very good at all. But you're against an economy. Both those weapons will do serious work in this situation, in this scenario. Especially if you take that Nova into a close claustrophobic environment like Long, like Guardian's doing right now. You saw Taz running with a mag in drop zone, but it appears they're going to be trying to utilise the MP9 here. Has very, very fast fire rate and can mow through people with no armour. That's exactly what he's going to be doing. He gets himself one and a second as well. Pulls out the USP and nearly gets a third. But did enough damage to drop Virtus.pro dangerously low on HP. Neo's on one. A gust of wind would end his life right now. And that's what's going to happen with the USP. Pasha with the Nova, which was taken out of the fingers of Guardian at Long. That's a lovely shot. Seized was tagged up pretty significantly, I should say. Still, Nice play from Pash. He pulls out his P250. And he did so because he was checking mid and he realised that the Nova had nowhere near enough range to pick off a player. Whereas a P250, if you get a headshot, it's going to do the work. And in doing so, he left himself very vulnerable. He's caught with his pants down around his ankles. And RV get their 14th round on the board. So they buy up. Maybe the last chance saloon for VP comes in. And they are going for an all-out B. Everybody over on this side of the map. They haven't quite thrown the dice just yet. But it's looking likely here as Taz is going in. 2 players on platform, one of which was Edward. He's been taken down. The other player was Flamey. And they go back and forth on frags. 3 on 3. Pasha's been spotted from Zeus. Drops down, does get the kill. Seized is stuck in drop zone because of that Molotov. That was very well placed. And Guardian in kind is stuck in drop zone. So this should be, on paper, in theory, a round to Virtus.pro. But how many times have we thought that already this evening? This game has been anything but textbook. I'm going to be boosting through drop zone. The idea here is that C's is going to get into long and try and get the opening pick onto Neo. But it's Neo that takes down Guardian. So that plan is pretty much dead before it started. And now C's is going to be looking for entry frags. And these are all going to be so painful for Virtus.pro. We're desperately trying to get some economy on the board. The AWP is going to get picked up, but the bomb is going to kill C's as he drops down. But he had no other real option. He was surrounded by players. And so VP do pick up the round, and they get themselves an AWP going forward here. So they're going to have a full buy-up. Na'Vi could drop a few pistols from Flamey, who had 7k. That's what's going to happen. And they're going to have a mag 7 as well onto Edward, who's going to be taking that weapon. Well, I think he was caught in 2 minds. Originally, he was thinking about going down mid and changed his mind to go long instead. Could we see another comeback from VP? It could be doable. It certainly could be doable. They picked up the first 2 here. I'm not going to get too excited about this round. It is an eco bash after all. They have one weapon. It's the mag 7 that is pulled out from Edward and does work in mid onto Neo. The bomb's going to go towards B courtesy of Snacks, and they are going to keep the AWP and the 3 AKs alive and kicking unless Edward pulls out something miraculous with the mag 7 and the USP, which I just don't see happening. 23-21 HLTV confirmed. I wish Zimrainer. I wish. That would be amazing. It could be poised for an overtime. It would go into overtime, guys. We have to have an out-and-out winner today on this map. I would love as much CS action as possible. We're just going to have to wait and find out. This is going to be the 25th round going the way of the Poles. It will be 14-11. They've lost 1 AK. And more importantly for Na'Vi, that's 1 more AK kept in their grasp. Maybe not for too long. Taz is moving into position. He sees the gun just peeking out, and there's the 1 click, the execution kill. Just as the round ends, just to rub salt on those wounds. Thanks, Adam Henry. Appreciate it, dude. Glad you're enjoying yourself. If you guys are, hit the follow button. Be awesome to see some friendly faces back here in the future. Now, it looks like Virtus.pro are going to be shifting gears. Instead of going to B, which they've done pretty much 90% of the time, I'd say. This time it's more of a mid-centric push. They're going for the boost. And Pasha's trying to just spot a cross up. He does see a player momentarily. He gets the shot there as he's flashbanged. It's one of those smile frags where you don't know if you've killed somebody until the flashbang's gone, and then you see your name up on the board and you just have a little cheeky smile to yourself. That's what he just pulled off there. And Virtus.pro will be feeling the same way as they suddenly find themselves in a 4-on-1. Flamey has himself an M4. No defuse kit, no grenades, and no life. 12-14, and this could be another eco for Na'Vi. cheeky Nandos. I'd love a cheeky Nandos right now. Wait, did Edward just get knifed in the back down to 28 HP? I looked at chat, and then I just heard the knife noise. And Edward's down to 28 HP, so that's awful. He's got a 5-7. That's not a position you ever want to be in right off the start. So Na'Vi shooting themselves in the foot this round. They've given up the site. It's been planted from Virtus.pro. I don't even know what just happened. That is going to be demoralising. There'll be a couple of words exchanged between the players, I'm sure, after that one. It was an eco round anyway, so it could be a whole lot worse. And there's going to be an exchange of frags. It was Zeus. Zeus, the scumbag, who put the knife in the back of Edward. Bad guy Zeus, report. Oh, please. Nicely done by Guardian. He's going to keep an AK going forward into the next round as he does get smashed off the... Oh, I say he's going to take it. Yes, he will. He will take it. Thought Taz might have him. Thought he might have him. Team Life direct result of no cheeky Nandos. That's it, Wib. Zeus denied the Nandos and then knifed his teammate in the back. Just to assert dominance. (14-13) buy-up round from Na'Vi. And this really is absolutely huge for them. They have to win this round. If they don't, they could very well be back on some form of force buy, which would not be fantastic. But it's this psychological edge that Virtus.pro would be getting, and confidence just growing and growing. Taz has been the first player to be picked up this round. So maybe that's going to give Na'Vi the advantage they so desperately require to take it into map points. You know, going right down to the wire, ladies and gents, this certainly could go to a tiebreaker. I'd personally love to see that one happen, but I'm sure those of you that have bet on the game are hoping for anything but that. You know, going through on platform, smoke in hand, going to be smoking over, trying to smoke screen the B sites. They can look to push on this one, but interestingly enough, the bomb is still in mid. So this is a diversion, I think, is a diversion tactic that is being used from Virtus.pro. Meanwhile, it's frags on the other side. On B, look at Neo just darting out of drop zone, and he gets himself a kill onto Flame. These are huge kills. I already said this is a huge round for both teams. And Pasha takes down C's. That's going to be the bomb plant, and Edward must be facepalming so hard. He changes across from his knife to his AK just in time there, as Neo was lurking. And with the grenade landing by his feet and the bomb planted being chanted in his ears, Edward realises the chances are slim to none, and he will be saving the AK-47. So that force buy, the inevitable force buy that comes in next round from Na'Vi, I should say, is going to be a bit beefier. And that's, of course, assuming that he does hold on to the AK-47. If your stream's lagging, guys, refresh Twitch. It could fix the issues for you. I'm not dropping any frames, so it's not on my end.
Terrorists win.
And he does save it and gets a kill as well onto Neo, so that's a pretty important moment there. You can see what difference that makes. Allows him to get an extra weapon, in turn allows Guardian to get his AWP and more grenades across the board. So that weapon really was pretty massive. I can't emphasise enough that AK-47 could make all the difference for Na'Vi. Virtus.pro, meanwhile, you can see identical buys of grenades. 5 Molotovs, 5 flashes, 5 smokes, 5 HEs. And they're going to be looking to do the business on to B. At the moment, it's just Edwards that stood there. And he's been flashed so much. In fact, there is a player behind him as well. It's Edward and Flamey. This combo, once again, who is just opening up and keeping the terrorists at bay. Yali and Pasha. Can they channel something huge? It's not looking likely. Although Pasha does find himself in a 1v4, but 3 players are tagged down. First of which is Zeus. He's been put 6 foot under. Tiger's on 12. And by Tiger, I mean Edward. That's going to constantly catch me off guard. And seized on 39. So Pasha, although it doesn't look good, if he can get the frag onto Guardian, this is extremely doable. Flash is over. There's a second kill. But there's strength in numbers. And Na'Vi get their 15th. 1 map point to Na'Vi. His name's Tiger Edward. It so catches me off guard. The good news though for Virtus.pro is because they've won quite a bunch of rounds. You saw there 5 rounds in a row before Na'Vi pulled one back. They got a lot of funds to play with, so it's an easy enough force buy. I'm not saying force buy, it's not even that. It's just a straight up buy from them. So no huge deal as far as they're concerned. Overtime or Na'Vi win. Those are the only potential scenarios that we face. This came down to this, ladies and gents. We thought it would be a close map, and it's definitely proved to be just that. Na'Vi, they have fended off the onslaught for the first half of this round, but it's the business half that really counts. Taz by himself, lurking on the B side. The rest of his team are filling in the blanks elsewhere. And it's the terrorists who claim first blood and break the deadlock on this one. But Flamey comes right back with a frag of his own in mid and now pulls back towards long. Snacks and Neo here. 38 seconds. Flashbang through. That's going to keep Neo at bay for a few more seconds. Buy up a bit more time from Na'Vi. And now the push is coming in. Molotov thrown over. That's going to land right by Flamey. He's going to have to move. There we go. But Guardian gets the frag with the AWP. And Neo gets picked off from Zeus, so it's all on Bjarly. And he's not going to be able to do anything. Na'Vi take it 16-14. Which for all of you bettors out